Angels reveal, your soulmate wants forever with you. God says pay attention, and this is not one of those moments that asks you to rush or react. It is a moment that asks you to become very still inside and notice what has already been changing around you. There is a reason this message reached you now, not earlier, not later, but at a point where your heart has been quietly recalibrating without you even announcing it to anyone. You didn't wake up one day and decide to transform. It happened gradually, through disappointments that matured you, through silence that taught you restraint, through patience that refined your discernment. This message is for you because something eternal does not approach loudly, it approaches when you are finally able to recognize it without fear. God says pay attention, not because something is about to be taken away, but because something meaningful has been forming beneath the surface while you were focused on becoming whole again. Your soulmate's desire for forever did not appear overnight, it grew in the moments you stopped explaining yourself, in the moments you chose peace over reaction, in the moments you allowed distance to reveal truth instead of chasing reassurance. Don't scroll away from this, because this is not about fantasy or promise, it is about alignment catching up with intention. What angels are revealing here is not a dramatic gesture, but a deep realization happening on the other side of this connection, a realization that love without clarity is not love that lasts, and love without courage cannot build a future. Your soulmate has reached a point where the idea of forever no longer feels abstract or overwhelming, it feels necessary, because they can sense that you are no longer someone who will stay halfway. This message is for you because your heart has outgrown temporary connections, even if part of you tried to remain patient longer than you should have. God says pay attention because when heaven prepares something lasting, it first removes the noise that once distracted you from recognizing it. You may have noticed signs appearing during ordinary moments, numbers that repeated when you were thinking about letting go, conversations that echoed themes of commitment and truth, sudden clarity where confusion used to live. These were not coincidences meant to rush you, they were confirmations meant to steady you. Your soulmate's desire for forever was not triggered by fear of losing you, it was awakened by the realization that you are no longer available for anything less than truth, consistency, and mutual devotion. This message is for you because forever is not built on intensity, it is built on the quiet decision to show up fully even when nothing is being demanded. Angels reveal that your silence carried more weight than any words you could have spoken, because it reflected your self-respect, your growth, your refusal to negotiate your worth. God says pay attention because you are not being asked to convince anyone of your value, you are being invited to recognize when someone finally sees it clearly. Your soulmate wants forever not because you waited endlessly, but because you stopped waiting and started living in alignment with yourself. Don't scroll, stay with this, because the difference matters. Forever does not arrive as a reward for endurance, it arrives when two people are equally present and equally willing to choose truth over comfort. Your heart needs this right now because you may still carry memories of uncertainty, moments where you wondered if clarity would ever come, moments where faith felt like effort instead of peace. But God says pay attention, because the season of questioning is closing, and the season of discernment has already begun. Angels reveal that the forever being offered here is not meant to consume you or erase your independence, it is meant to stand beside you, grounded, steady, and intentional. You are not being pulled backward into old patterns, you are being met at the level you now live from. This message is for you because you no longer confuse longing with destiny, and that clarity is what allows real commitment to approach without overwhelming you. Your soulmate's heart has shifted from wondering what might be possible to understanding what must be protected, and that includes you. God says pay attention because when love is meant to last, it arrives with responsibility, not chaos. You may feel a quiet nervousness as this truth settles, not fear, but awareness, because forever requires presence, honesty, and courage from both sides. Angels reveal that you are ready for that presence now, not because you are perfect, but because you are grounded. Your heart needs this right now because you are no longer asking love to save you, you are asking love to meet you. Don't scroll, because this is not a message to rush into promises or expectations, it is a message to recognize when alignment replaces confusion. God says pay attention to how your body responds to this, not with urgency, but with calm, because calm is how divine confirmation feels when you are aligned. This forever is not about losing yourself, it is about building something that honors who you have become. And if this message resonates, if it settles instead of excites, if it feels steady instead of overwhelming, stay connected here, because what is meant to unfold next will do so with clarity, not confusion, and this channel will continue to guide you through what heaven is revealing step by step. There is a moment that comes when you realize this connection is no longer asking questions, it is answering them quietly through consistency, through restraint, through a feeling of steadiness that didn't exist before. This message is for you because what is unfolding now is not fueled by excitement or urgency, it is fueled by recognition. Recognition that love cannot remain undefined forever without losing its integrity. Recognition that forever is not a fantasy word, but a responsibility that asks for maturity on both sides. Your heart needs this right now because you may sense that something has shifted, not outwardly dramatic, but inwardly undeniable. The energy around this connection feels different because it is different. What angels are revealing is not a sudden change of heart, but a settled decision forming beneath the surface, one that took time because it required growth rather than impulse. God says pay attention because real commitment does not announce itself loudly, it aligns itself quietly with truth. You may have noticed that your emotional posture has changed long before this moment arrived. You stopped pushing for reassurance. You stopped filling silence with explanations. You stopped over-functioning in the connection. That was not withdrawal, it was evolution. And that evolution did something important. It removed the illusion that love could survive indefinitely on ambiguity. Your soulmate began to feel the difference, not as loss, but as clarity. When someone realizes they are no longer being carried emotionally, they are forced to stand inside their own intentions. This message is for you because that is where the idea of forever begins, not in desire, but in responsibility. Your heart needs this right now because you may still be cautious, even as you sense this shift. Caution does not mean doubt. It means wisdom. You learn through experience that words without alignment create confusion, and promises without follow-through create wounds. Angels reveal that the reason this desire for forever is forming now is because the connection has been stripped of fantasy. What remains is real. Real feelings. Real choice. Real awareness of what is at stake if nothing changes. God says pay attention because when heaven supports something lasting, it does not bypass discernment, it deepens it. You may have noticed signs appearing not to excite you, but to ground you. Moments of quiet clarity. Sudden peace when you thought about letting go. Repeated reminders that you are protected even if outcomes change. These signs were not about guaranteeing a specific future, they were about stabilizing you so you would not cling to one. Your soulmate's desire for forever is not being triggered by fear of losing you, it is being awakened by the realization that you will not stay where truth is absent. That realization carries weight. It transforms affection into intention. This message is for you because forever is not built on emotional intensity, it is built on emotional availability. And availability requires presence, honesty, and courage. Angels reveal that your soulmate is no longer romanticizing the idea of you, they are recognizing the reality of you. Your boundaries. Your growth. Your self-respect. God says pay attention because love that lasts is love that adjusts to who you are becoming, not who you used to be. You are no longer someone who waits indefinitely to be chosen. You are someone who lives fully whether clarity arrives or not. That shift is what makes commitment possible without pressure. Your heart needs this right now because you may still carry memories of inconsistency, moments where you questioned whether you were asking for too much or expecting too much. Angels reveal that those moments were not meant to discourage you, they were meant to refine you. They taught you the difference between patience and self-abandonment. They taught you that forever cannot be built by one person holding all the weight. God says pay attention because you are no longer being asked to prove your worth through endurance, you are being invited to recognize when someone else is ready to meet you with equal seriousness. You may sense that the dynamic feels slower now, but steadier. Slowness does not mean hesitation when it is rooted in intention. It means someone is considering the impact of their choice, not just the feeling of it. Angels reveal that your soulmate is not approaching forever casually, because casual forever does not exist. They are aware now that choosing you means choosing growth, accountability, and consistency. That awareness is sobering, but it is also sacred. God says pay attention because sacred choices often feel heavy before they feel safe. This message is for you because you are not being asked to rush into trust. You are being asked to stay present and discerning. Notice how your body responds to this energy, not with excitement that pulls you forward, but with calm that allows you to stand where you are. Calm is how alignment feels when it is real. Your heart needs this right now because divine confirmation does not create chaos, it creates steadiness. It does not beg for belief, it settles into knowing. You may notice that your intuition feels clearer now. It is not whispering warnings, it is offering observations. It is showing you patterns that have changed, behaviors that have matured, intentions that are becoming consistent. Angels reveal that these changes are not temporary gestures, they are signs of internal shift. God says pay attention because forever is not something you are promised through words, it is something you recognize through sustained alignment. Your soulmate's desire for forever is emerging alongside respect for your autonomy, not fear of losing access to you. That distinction matters. Respect builds stability. Fear builds pressure. Angels reveal that this desire is being shaped by the realization that you will not compromise your peace to keep a connection alive. God says pay attention because love that lasts honors peace, it does not threaten it. This message is for you because you may still be holding space for uncertainty, wondering whether clarity will fully arrive. But understand this, clarity does not always arrive as a statement. Sometimes it arrives as consistency over time. As a shift in how someone shows up. As a willingness to take responsibility without being asked. Your heart needs this right now because you are no longer the version of yourself who settles for potential alone. You recognize effort. You recognize follow-through. You recognize alignment. Angels reveal that you are being prepared to receive something lasting, not because you waited long enough, but because you grew strong enough to hold it without losing yourself. God says pay attention because forever is not meant to replace your individuality, it is meant to stand alongside it. You are not being called into a future that consumes you, you are being invited into one that supports you. If you feel a quiet seriousness settling in rather than excitement, trust it. That seriousness is reverence, not fear. It is respect for what is being considered. Stay present. Stay grounded. Do not rush ahead of what is forming. Let it meet you where you are, fully, clearly, and honestly. And if this message resonates, stay connected, because what angels are revealing next will not be about chasing love, it will be about recognizing when love chooses to stay. There is a subtle awareness that settles in when you realize this connection is no longer balanced on hope, but on truth. This message is for you because something has changed in the atmosphere around this bond, and it did not change because of words spoken or promises made. It changed because both souls have been quietly confronted by reality. Reality has a way of slowing everything down and making what truly matters impossible to ignore. Your heart needs this right now because you may feel a strange mix of calm and seriousness, as if something meaningful is being weighed rather than chased. That feeling is not accidental. It is the sign that this connection has moved out of fantasy and into responsibility. You may notice that your own emotions feel more contained now. Not suppressed, not distant, just grounded. You are no longer swinging between excitement and doubt. You are present. That presence is powerful because it does not ask for reassurance. It does not try to secure the future. It simply exists in alignment with who you have become. Angels reveal that this shift in you is what created space for something deeper to form on the other side. God says pay attention because when one person stops forcing clarity, clarity has room to arrive naturally. Your soulmate's desire for forever is not forming out of pressure or fear. It is forming out of recognition. Recognition that you are no longer someone who can be met halfway indefinitely. Recognition that the version of you standing now is not available for emotional shortcuts. This message is for you because you may sense that they are approaching this connection differently. More carefully. More thoughtfully. Less impulsively. That change is not hesitation. It is respect taking shape. Your heart needs this right now because respect feels very different from intensity. Intensity rushes. Respect pauses. Intensity wants immediate reassurance. Respect considers long-term impact. Angels reveal that the reason this feels slower is because it is meant to last. God says pay attention because anything built to endure must first be built on awareness. Awareness of what has already happened. Awareness of what cannot be repeated. Awareness of what would be lost if this opportunity is mishandled. You may notice that memories from the past are surfacing in a new way. Not to pull you backward, but to be reinterpreted. Moments that once felt confusing now make sense. Silences that once hurt now reveal boundaries that were forming. Delays that once felt personal now look like immaturity being outgrown. This message is for you because hindsight is not meant to reopen wounds, it is meant to confirm growth. Angels reveal that you are no longer the same person who experienced those moments, and neither is your soulmate. Your heart needs this right now because you may still carry a quiet guard around your heart. That guard is not fear. It is wisdom. You learn that love does not require you to ignore your instincts. You learn that commitment without consistency creates instability. God says pay attention because this time, you are not being asked to lower that guard prematurely. You are being asked to observe whether actions align with intention over time. Angels reveal that your soulmate is aware now that forever is not something they can suggest lightly. It is something they must be prepared to live. That awareness brings gravity. It brings introspection. It brings a kind of seriousness that may feel unfamiliar if you are used to emotional highs and lows. But seriousness is not the absence of love. It is the presence of accountability. And accountability is essential for anything meant to last. This message is for you because you are no longer seeking reassurance that you are wanted. You are seeking confirmation that you are valued consistently. Those are not the same thing. Being wanted can be fleeting. Being valued requires intention, effort, and responsibility. Angels reveal that this distinction is now clear on both sides, even if it has not been spoken aloud yet. God says pay attention because when values align, words become less necessary. You may notice that your intuition feels steady rather than urgent. It is not pushing you toward a decision. It is asking you to stay present. To notice how your body feels when you imagine a future with this person. Calm is important here. Calm is how truth feels when it is safe. Excitement alone can be misleading. Calm, paired with clarity, is grounding. Your heart needs this right now because you are learning to trust calm instead of chasing intensity. Angels reveal that the idea of forever forming now is not about claiming you, it is about honoring you. There is a difference. Claiming seeks control. Honoring seeks partnership. God says pay attention because partnership requires two people who are willing to show up fully, not just emotionally, but practically, consistently, and honestly. You are no longer someone who can be impressed by words alone. You feel alignment in behavior, not in promises. This message is for you because you may still be wondering whether this shift will fully materialize or remain internal. But understand this, internal shifts always precede external ones. Always. Angels reveal that what is happening now is foundational. It is slow because foundations must be stable. God says pay attention because rushing something meant to last only creates cracks that surface later. You may notice that your desire has changed shape. It is no longer about securing forever. It is about ensuring that forever, if it comes, is healthy. That shift protects you. It ensures that you will not mistake commitment for compatibility. Angels reveal that compatibility is now being evaluated at a deeper level. Values. Emotional availability. Willingness to grow. Capacity for accountability. These are not romantic concepts, but they are essential ones. Your heart needs this right now because you are standing at a point where you can receive commitment without losing yourself. That was not always true. There was a time when commitment felt like something you had to earn through patience or understanding. Now, commitment feels like something that must meet you at your level. God says pay attention because that change in you is what allows divine alignment to take place. Angels reveal that your soulmate's desire for forever is connected to the realization that you are no longer anchored to them emotionally. You are anchored to yourself. That independence does not push love away. It refines it. It ensures that love approaches you with respect rather than assumption. Your heart needs this right now because you are no longer afraid that standing in your truth will cost you love. You trust that it will attract the right kind. This message is for you because forever is not something you need to chase or secure. It is something you recognize when it approaches you calmly, clearly, and consistently. Angels reveal that you are being guided not toward fantasy, but toward discernment. God says pay attention because discernment is how heaven protects what matters. You may notice that even the idea of forever feels different now. It does not feel overwhelming. It does not feel consuming. It feels grounded. That groundedness is a sign that you are ready to build rather than dream. And building requires patience, honesty, and mutual effort. Angels reveal that this connection is being asked to step into that phase, not through pressure, but through awareness. Your heart needs this right now because you are not being asked to believe blindly. You are being asked to stay present and watch how things unfold. Divine timing does not rush clarity. It reveals it layer by layer, ensuring that nothing important is missed. God says pay attention because what is forming here is not meant to be fragile. If this message resonates, let it settle. Do not rush ahead of it. Stay connected to your own calm. Stay grounded in what you know to be true. Forever, when it is real, does not pull you out of yourself. It meets you where you stand and asks you to walk forward together, slowly, intentionally, and with reverence for what you are building. There is a deeper settling happening now, the kind that doesn't excite the mind but steadies the soul. This message is for you because you may feel that the question is no longer, will this happen, but, what kind of forever is this meant to be? That shift matters. It means you are no longer waiting from a place of uncertainty, you are observing from a place of self-respect. Your heart needs this right now because when love moves toward permanence, it first strips away illusion. What remains is not fantasy, but truth that can be lived with every day. Angels reveal that this connection is being refined, not rushed, because anything meant to last must be able to stand quietly without constant reassurance. You may notice that your emotional landscape feels calmer than it ever did before. Not because you stopped caring, but because your care is no longer mixed with fear. Earlier, the thought of forever may have stirred anxiety, questions, and pressure. Now, it feels weighty in a grounded way, like something that deserves patience and honesty rather than urgency. God says pay attention because when love matures, it stops chasing intensity and starts honoring stability. That stability is not boring. It is protective. It creates space where trust can grow without being tested constantly. This message is for you because you have reached a point where you no longer confuse being chosen with being aligned. Being chosen can happen quickly. Alignment takes time. Angels reveal that what is happening now is alignment catching up to emotion. Your soulmate is no longer thinking in terms of possibility alone, they are thinking in terms of responsibility. Responsibility for how they show up. Responsibility for how their actions affect you. Responsibility for whether they are capable of sustaining what they say they want. God says pay attention because this level of responsibility only appears when someone is serious about forever. Your heart needs this right now because you may sense that the connection feels more intentional but less dramatic. That is not a loss of passion. It is a shift in focus. Passion that burns without structure eventually exhausts itself. Passion that is anchored in respect becomes devotion. Angels reveal that devotion is what is being considered now. Devotion does not demand attention. It offers consistency. It does not rely on emotional highs. It relies on presence. You may notice that your past doubts are no longer shouting. They are quiet, almost distant. That doesn't mean they were wrong. It means they served their purpose. They protected you until you were ready to trust discernment instead of fear. This message is for you because discernment is now guiding you more than emotion. Angels reveal that discernment is not the absence of love, it is love informed by wisdom. God says pay attention because wisdom is how heaven ensures that what comes next does not repeat what hurt before. Your soulmate's desire for forever is not about securing you. It is about meeting you. Meeting you in clarity. Meeting you in consistency. Meeting you in the reality of who you are now, not who you were when the connection first began. That distinction is important. This message is for you because you have changed, and love that lasts must change with you. Angels reveal that this realization is settling deeply on the other side, even if it has not been spoken yet. Your heart needs this right now because you may feel an instinct to protect your peace, even as you remain open. That instinct is healthy. You are no longer willing to sacrifice emotional safety for potential. You are no longer willing to ignore your body's signals to preserve a connection. God says pay attention because peace is not something you negotiate away in real love. Real love protects it. You may notice signs appearing that do not excite you, but reassure you. Small confirmations. Gentle reminders. Moments where things align without effort. These are not meant to push you forward. They are meant to steady you where you are. Angels reveal that divine confirmation often feels like calm recognition rather than emotional fireworks. Your heart needs this right now because you are learning to trust calm as a sign of truth. This message is for you because forever, when it is real, does not ask you to rush your healing or bypass your boundaries. It respects the time it took you to become who you are. Angels reveal that your soulmate is becoming aware that choosing you means choosing growth alongside you. Growth is not always comfortable, but it is necessary. God says pay attention because comfort alone cannot sustain forever, only commitment to growth can. You may sense that conversations, when they happen, feel more grounded. Less hypothetical. Less vague. Even silence feels different, not heavy, but reflective. That reflection is important. It means both sides are considering the weight of what they feel. This message is for you because you are no longer being pulled into uncertainty. You are being invited into awareness. Awareness allows you to choose wisely, not react emotionally. Your heart needs this right now because you may still feel cautious optimism rather than excitement. That is not lack of faith. It is faith matured by experience. Angels reveal that cautious optimism is healthy when it is paired with observation. God says pay attention because you are not being asked to believe blindly, you are being asked to stay present and notice consistency over time. You may notice that your idea of forever has changed. It is no longer about permanence at any cost. It is about shared values, emotional safety, and mutual effort. That shift protects you. It ensures that if forever comes, it will add to your life rather than consume it. Angels reveal that this refined vision is what allows divine alignment to take place without chaos. This message is for you because you are not standing at the edge of uncertainty anymore. You are standing at the edge of choice. Choice does not mean pressure. It means awareness. Awareness of what you are willing to build. Awareness of what you will not compromise. God says pay attention because choice, when made from clarity, creates peace rather than conflict. Your heart needs this right now because you are no longer asking love to prove itself quickly. You are allowing it to reveal itself slowly. Slow revelation is not delay, it is protection. It ensures that what is built has depth and resilience. Angels reveal that what is forming here is meant to stand, not just to feel good in the moment. You may sense that the universe is no longer testing you, but supporting you. Supporting your discernment. Supporting your boundaries. Supporting your readiness for something real. This message is for you because readiness is not about wanting forever, it is about being able to hold it without losing yourself. God says pay attention because you are in that place now. If this message resonates, let it ground you rather than excite you. Stay present. Stay observant. Trust the calm. Forever, when it is divinely aligned, does not arrive with chaos or fear. It arrives with clarity, respect, and a shared willingness to build something honest, step by step, without rushing past what matters most. There is a quiet seriousness settling into this connection now, the kind that doesn't need reassurance or excitement to feel real. This message is for you because you may sense that things no longer feel fragile, even though nothing has been officially defined yet. Fragility belongs to uncertainty mixed with fear. What you are feeling now is weight, and weight appears only when something is being considered carefully. Your heart needs this right now because forever is not something that rushes in with emotion alone, it arrives when emotion is finally supported by intention. Angels reveal that this stage is not about proving love, it is about understanding what love will require to last. You may notice that you are no longer emotionally leaning forward the way you once did. You are present, but you are not chasing clarity. You are open, but you are not abandoning yourself to possibility. That balance is new. It came from everything you endured, everything you learned, and everything you refused to repeat. God says pay attention because when your posture changes, the entire dynamic of a connection changes with it. Your soulmate is feeling that shift not as distance, but as definition. They can sense that whatever comes next must be real, because you are no longer available for anything half-formed. This message is for you because the idea of forever is no longer romantic in a dreamy way, it is practical in a grounding way. You are no longer imagining what forever could feel like. You are considering what forever would require day after day. Emotional presence. Consistency. Accountability. Shared effort. Angels reveal that your soulmate is beginning to think in these same terms, not because they are afraid of losing you, but because they finally understand what it would cost to keep you. God says pay attention because love that lasts is not chosen lightly, it is chosen with full awareness of responsibility. Your heart needs this right now because you may still feel moments of hesitation inside yourself. Not doubt, but discernment. Discernment does not rush toward promises. It watches patterns. It notices whether change is sustained or temporary. Angels reveal that this caution is not blocking divine alignment, it is protecting it. God says pay attention because discernment is one of the clearest signs that you are ready for something real. You are no longer asking whether someone wants you, you are asking whether they can meet you consistently. You may notice that silence between you feels different now. It is no longer heavy with unanswered questions. It feels reflective, almost respectful. Silence is no longer avoidance, it is consideration. This message is for you because consideration is a necessary ingredient of forever. Angels reveal that your soulmate is not rushing into declarations because they are measuring themselves honestly. They are asking whether they can sustain what they feel, not just express it. God says pay attention because restraint is often a sign of sincerity, not hesitation. Your heart needs this right now because you are no longer confusing intensity with depth. Intensity can be powerful, but it fades if it is not grounded. Depth remains because it is built slowly. Angels reveal that this connection is moving from emotional charge into emotional substance. That transition can feel quieter, even anticlimactic, but it is essential. God says pay attention because anything built to last must survive calm, not just passion. You may sense that your expectations have changed. You are no longer impressed by big words or dramatic gestures. You are watching for consistency. You are listening for honesty. You are feeling for emotional safety. This message is for you because these expectations are not barriers, they are foundations. Angels reveal that you did not become demanding, you became clear. God says pay attention because clarity attracts clarity, not confusion. Your soulmate's desire for forever is not forming in isolation. It is responding to the version of you that exists now. A version that does not beg for reassurance. A version that does not tolerate emotional imbalance. A version that understands their worth without needing it to be constantly affirmed. Angels reveal that this version of you changes how love approaches you. God says pay attention because love that lasts must approach you with respect, not assumption. Your heart needs this right now because you may still be holding memories of times when commitment felt uncertain or unsafe. Those memories are not resurfacing to scare you. They are resurfacing to remind you how far you've come. You are no longer the person who would accept promises without alignment. Angels reveal that you are now capable of holding space for commitment without losing your independence. God says pay attention because that balance is rare and valuable. You may notice that conversations, even unspoken ones, feel more grounded. There is less guessing. Less emotional guessing games. More presence. This message is for you because presence is what sustains forever when novelty fades. Angels reveal that your soulmate is beginning to understand that love is not maintained by excitement alone, but by showing up when it is quiet, ordinary, and real. God says pay attention because this understanding separates temporary connections from lasting ones. Your heart needs this right now because you are no longer asking love to fill a void. You are asking love to walk beside a full life. That shift ensures that forever, if it comes, will not replace your identity, it will complement it. Angels reveal that this is exactly the kind of readiness that allows divine alignment to unfold without chaos. God says pay attention because heaven does not bring lasting love to people who would lose themselves in it. You may sense that time feels slower now, but not stalled. Slowness here is intentional. It allows truth to surface without pressure. It allows both hearts to check themselves honestly. This message is for you because slowing down does not mean love is uncertain, it means love is being treated with respect. Angels reveal that rushing commitment creates cracks that appear later. God says pay attention because patience now prevents pain later. Your heart needs this right now because you are standing at a point where you can receive commitment without fear. Fear once came from not knowing where you stood. Now, fear has softened because you trust yourself to walk away from what does not align. That trust changes everything. Angels reveal that you are no longer staying because you are afraid to lose, you are open because you are strong enough to choose. God says pay attention because choice made from strength creates stability. You may notice that your inner dialogue is calmer. You are not convincing yourself of anything. You are observing. You are allowing. You are grounded. This message is for you because grounded people do not need constant signs to feel secure. They recognize alignment by how it feels in the body, not by how dramatic it looks on the surface. Angels reveal that this embodied awareness is guiding you now. God says pay attention because the body often recognizes truth before the mind accepts it. Your soulmate's desire for forever is not a finish line, it is an entry point. An entry point into responsibility, growth, and shared effort. This message is for you because forever is not about being claimed, it is about being chosen every day with intention. Angels reveal that this understanding is settling deeply now, on both sides. God says pay attention because when two people meet at this level of awareness, love becomes something that can truly endure. If this message resonates, let it ground you. Do not rush ahead of what is forming. Stay present. Stay observant. Stay aligned with who you have become. Forever, when it is real, does not ask you to abandon yourself. It invites you to build something honest, steady, and mutual, one day at a time, without fear, without illusion, and without losing the peace you worked so hard to find. There is a grounded stillness surrounding this connection now, the kind that doesn't feel empty but intentional. This message is for you because you may sense that the noise has faded, not because interest disappeared, but because truth no longer needs to shout. What is unfolding now is not fueled by longing or fear, it is guided by awareness. Your heart needs this right now because awareness is the foundation of anything meant to last. Angels reveal that when love approaches permanence, it slows everything down, not to delay, but to make sure nothing essential is overlooked. God says pay attention because this is the stage where intention is being tested against reality. You may notice that your emotional energy feels more contained and centered. You are no longer stretching yourself to maintain connection. You are present, but you are not overextending. That shift did not happen by accident. It happened because you learned that love should not cost you your peace. This message is for you because your soulmate is responding to this version of you, the version that no longer negotiates their worth through patience or silence. Angels reveal that when someone senses they can no longer rely on your endurance alone, they are forced to examine their own capacity to commit. Your heart needs this right now because you may feel a calm confidence that surprises you. Not excitement. Not anxiety. Just steadiness. That steadiness is a sign that you are no longer emotionally bracing for disappointment. You trust yourself now. You trust that you will recognize alignment when it appears, and you trust that you will walk away if it does not. God says pay attention because self-trust is what allows divine timing to work without interference. Angels reveal that your soulmate is no longer approaching this connection casually. Casual energy cannot survive in the presence of clarity. They are becoming aware that forever is not an idea to explore, it is a responsibility to step into. Responsibility brings weight. It brings reflection. It brings hesitation that is rooted in respect, not fear. This message is for you because hesitation born from respect feels different than hesitation born from avoidance. One leans toward honesty. The other leans away from it. You may notice that conversations, even the unspoken ones, feel more deliberate now. Less guessing. Less emotional back and forth. More pauses that feel thoughtful rather than distant. Those pauses matter. They indicate consideration. Angels reveal that consideration is one of the clearest signs of readiness. God says pay attention because someone who is thinking about forever does not rush their words, they weigh them. Your heart needs this right now because you are no longer mistaking intensity for devotion. Intensity can appear quickly and disappear just as fast. Devotion builds quietly through consistency. Angels reveal that this connection is being evaluated at that level now. Not how strongly someone feels, but how steadily they can show up. God says pay attention because steadiness is what sustains love when circumstances change. You may sense that your expectations are clearer than ever. You are not asking for perfection. You are asking for presence. You are not asking for constant reassurance. You are asking for consistency. This message is for you because these expectations are not demands, they are boundaries. Angels reveal that boundaries do not push the right love away, they protect it. God says pay attention because protected love lasts longer than love built on sacrifice alone. Your soulmate's desire for forever is not forming because you waited. It is forming because you stopped waiting. Because you reclaimed your life, your rhythm, your sense of self. Angels reveal that independence does not threaten real love, it refines it. God says pay attention because love that wants forever does not want to consume you, it wants to walk alongside you. Your heart needs this right now because you may feel moments of reflection where you revisit old fears, wondering whether commitment will eventually bring the same uncertainty you once felt. Those fears are not warnings, they are memories. Memories reminding you why discernment matters. Angels reveal that you are not repeating old cycles, you are closing them. God says pay attention because closure does not always come through endings, sometimes it comes through doing things differently. You may notice that your intuition is calm and observant. It is not urging you forward or pulling you back. It is asking you to stay present. Presence is powerful here. Presence allows you to see patterns instead of promises. Angels reveal that patterns tell the truth long before words do. God says pay attention because you are now capable of recognizing truth without needing it to be dramatic. Your heart needs this right now because you are no longer afraid of time. You are not rushing toward answers. You are allowing them to unfold. That patience is not passive. It is rooted in confidence. Confidence that you are not missing out by waiting for alignment. Angels reveal that waiting from confidence feels peaceful, not anxious. God says pay attention because peace is a sign that you are in the right season. You may sense that the universe feels supportive rather than testing. Things align without force. Conversations flow without effort. Even silence feels purposeful. This message is for you because support feels different from challenge. Angels reveal that you have passed the phase of proving yourself. God says pay attention because now you are in the phase of receiving what matches who you are. Your soulmate's understanding of forever is maturing alongside yours. It is no longer about possession or certainty. It is about partnership. Partnership requires equality, respect, and shared responsibility. Angels reveal that this realization is settling deeply now, even if it has not been spoken aloud yet. God says pay attention because unspoken realizations often precede meaningful action. Your heart needs this right now because you are no longer seeking reassurance that love will stay. You are seeking confirmation that love can grow. Growth requires patience, honesty, and effort from both sides. Angels reveal that you are now ready to recognize that balance. God says pay attention because balance is what keeps love from becoming a burden. You may notice that even the idea of forever feels calmer now. It does not overwhelm you. It does not excite you unrealistically. It feels grounded. That grounded feeling is important. It means you are ready to build, not escape into fantasy. Angels reveal that building takes time and intention. God says pay attention because intention is what transforms love into legacy. This message is for you because you are not being asked to rush into belief. You are being asked to stay present and watch how things unfold. Divine alignment does not demand blind faith, it invites conscious participation. Your heart needs this right now because you are capable of participating without losing yourself. If this resonates, let it anchor you. Stay steady. Stay observant. Stay honest with yourself. Forever, when it is real, does not arrive with pressure or confusion. It arrives with clarity, responsibility, and a shared willingness to walk forward together, slowly, intentionally, and with respect for everything it took to arrive at this moment. There is a moment of quiet recognition that happens when you realize this connection is no longer moving on emotion alone, it is moving on conscience. This message is for you because conscience is what awakens when someone understands that love is no longer just about feeling drawn, it is about choosing responsibility even when it feels heavy. You may sense this shift without seeing it clearly yet. Things feel slower, more deliberate, less reactive. That is not distance. That is gravity. Your heart needs this right now because gravity only appears when something is being taken seriously, when someone understands that what stands in front of them is not temporary, not replaceable, and not to be handled carelessly. You may notice that you are no longer asking the same questions you once did. You are not wondering where you stand every day. You are not mentally negotiating timelines or outcomes. Instead, you are noticing how you feel when you imagine standing still versus moving forward. And what you feel now is not panic. It is steadiness. That steadiness did not come from guarantees. It came from self-respect settling into your body. Angels reveal that this inner shift in you is what activated a deeper realization on the other side. God says pay attention because when one soul stops bending, the other is forced to decide whether they will rise or remain where they are. Your heart needs this right now because you may feel a quiet seriousness in yourself too. You are no longer romanticizing forever. You are respecting it. Forever now feels like something that must be built intentionally, not assumed or promised lightly. That change protects you. Angels reveal that you are no longer available for emotional improvisation. God says pay attention because real commitment begins when improvisation ends. You may sense that your soulmate is no longer approaching this connection from desire alone. Desire is powerful, but it is unstable without direction. What is forming now is direction. Direction toward responsibility, toward accountability, toward consistency. This message is for you because direction always feels calmer than desire. Desire pulls. Direction grounds. Angels reveal that grounding is what allows love to last beyond feeling. Your heart needs this right now because you may notice silence between you feels different again. Not reflective like before, but weighty. As if decisions are being measured internally. That weight is not avoidance. It is awareness. God says pay attention because awareness creates pauses, and pauses are necessary before life-altering choices. Someone who is thinking about forever cannot rush, because rushing would mean risking something sacred. You may notice that your body responds to this stage with calm rather than excitement. That is important. Calm is not lack of love. Calm is safety. Angels reveal that safety is what your nervous system learned to crave after experiencing uncertainty. God says pay attention because love that honors your nervous system is love that can be sustained. Your heart needs this right now because you may still feel protective of your peace. That protection is not resistance. It is discernment. You are no longer willing to sacrifice emotional safety to keep a connection alive. Angels reveal that this boundary does not scare aligned love away, it invites it to show up properly. God says pay attention because anything meant for forever must be able to meet your boundaries without trying to erode them. You may notice that your expectations have become simpler, not smaller. You are not asking for perfection. You are asking for presence that lasts, honesty that remains, effort that does not fade when things become ordinary. This message is for you because these expectations are the blueprint of healthy forever. Angels reveal that what is being considered now is whether those expectations can be met consistently, not occasionally. God says pay attention because consistency is the real language of commitment.
You may notice that even your prayers or intention have changed. You are no longer asking for clarity at any cost. You are asking for alignment that does not disturb your peace. That shifts matters. Angels reveal that alignment comes when your desire and your boundaries finally agree. God says, pay attention because heaven responds when inner conflict resolves. Your heart needs right now because you are not being asked to surrender your independence to receive forever. You are being asked to bring your wholeness into it. Forever that require you to shrink it not to divine. Angels reveal that divine unions expand both people without erasing either. God says, pay attention because you are no capable of recognizing that difference. You may sense that universe feels less dramatic and more supportive. Things are not forcing themselves into place. They are settling. This message is for you because settling is what happens when things are meant to stay. Angels reveal that some storm announce change, but calm announce permanence. God says, pay attention because permanence does not arrive loudly. Your heart needs this right now because you are no longer being tested in your patience. You are being honored in your growth. Growth that taught you restraint. Growth that taught you self respect. Growth that taught you not to beg love to choose you. Angels reveal that this growth is exactly what allows for forever to approach without chaos. God says, pay attention because chaos is not requirement for destiny. You may notice that the idea of forever no longer feels like escape from loneliness. It feels like a shared responsibility. That is sign of readiness. Angel reveal that readiness does not come from wanting. It comes from stability. God says pay attention because stability is what keeps love alive longer after excitement fades. This message is for you because you are not standing at a threshold, not for promise, not for discriminant. Discriminant will guide you, receive what is real and release what is not without bitterness. Angel reveal that is the final refinement before clarity take from externally. God says pay attention because what come next will not require you to abandon yourself to receive it. Stay where you are, stay grounded, stay observant. You are no longer waiting in uncertainty. Not as a fantasy but as conscious, steady and intentional choice that meet you exactly as you are. Thank you.